greater than, inaudible, greater than I did. I signed some letters, and they'll go out on Monday. Probably 12. Greater than, inaudible, greater than 12 different, well, different. Different amounts of money, different amounts of tariffs. And somewhat different statements. Greater than, inaudible, which countries will receive those letters on Monday. Greater than it'll be announced. I have to announce it on Monday, can't do it. Mike, President Trump says he's signed 123 different trade letters or with 12 different trade letters with the trade deadline on reciprocal tariffs less than a week away. Let's bring in Heritage Foundation Chief Economist EJ Antoni. Welcome. Greater than, thank you for having me, Mike. Mike, President Trump set a July 9th trade deal deadline. What are your expectations? Greater than, well, I think what we're going to see is kind of a continuation of the progress that's already been made with countries like Canada, like Vietnam. Essentially, Mike, it takes time, but all of these nations one by one are realizing they need us much more than we need them, and in these negotiations we hold all the cards, essentially. That tends to be the case with most of our trade relationships. In other words, I think we're going to continue to get concessions from these different nations. We're going to continue to see the tariffs and the non-tariff barriers that they impose on American exporters start to go away. That'll increase the demand for American exports and also increase the demand for American labor. That's a huge component of this administration's agenda, increasing the demand for American labor so that not only are more Americans employed, but we see faster wage growth here at home too. Mike, the big, beautiful bill, now law, is nearly 900 pages. I spoke with Kevin Hassett from the White House about it. Let's play it, I'll get you to react. Greater than, this bill is going to put jet fuel into the U.S. economy and give U.S. the greatest economy any of U.S. have ever seen. Last time we gave you 3% growth and $6,000 into the pockets of the typical family. We're looking at growth much higher than that and more than $10,000 going into the pockets of a typical family. Mike, what's your analysis of its impact on the American economy? Greater than, well, Mike, very complex because there are so many moving pieces here. I mean, this thing is hundreds of pages longer, it's almost 1,000 pages, actually, and so it's really difficult to quantify the aggregate impact, right? But I think overall it is definitely a net positive. That's not to say it's the bill I would have written, right? I would have liked to have cut taxes and spending even more, but whatever the case, I still think this is a mess pot. Net positive. It avoids a $4 trillion tax increase on the American middle class starting next year. It does reduce future spending. That's a good thing. It increases small business deductions, it increases business deductions overall. It'll have a positive impact on investment, and that's really the driver of long-run economic growth. So, again, overall it's definitely a net positive. And in terms of quantifying that, that's where I think things get a little tricky. But I can definitely say with confidence, again, it's a necessary positive concern, net positive. It's going to lead to a stronger middle class, a stronger economy not just on Wall Street, but on Main Street too. And in that regard, I think this was another key component of getting President Trump's agenda across the finish line. Mike, there's also really good news on the jobs front. I asked Stephen Miron from the White House about that. Greater than, he beat the forecasts for 78 out of 799 professional economists, 79, that submitted their forecast. That means the president is once again proving the haters and doomsayers don't know what they're talking about. Mike, we're up against the clock, 20 seconds. What's your take on the jobs report in? Greater than, not only did it have a great headline number where we beat expectations, the last 2 months were revised up, not down. All of the net job growth was full-time employment, not just part-time jobs. The internals of the report were great too all around. This was definitely a solid to last month's jobs report.